No need to be nervous. I am approachable.
Time for some Zerggy Lash. I always forget how dizzying it is to watch Zerggy. He flicks around so much. But funny enough, Gun Lash is almost a perfect hero for him. Because he's always looking around everywhere, Gun Lash helps him a lot with that. He's just able to do that. So far, it's just such a pretty simple lane. They've just been clearing the wave, no lane swaps, but he starts Flog just to have better trades. Just having that extra bit of healing is always very, very helpful, as well as going Headshot Booster just for better trades as well. I like the half commit on the camp. They know they don't have enough pressure to really contest it fully, so just half contesting it works pretty well. And they don't want to overextend themselves into the room because they could get like Abrams charged or just a full pocket combo and take a lot of damage. Unfortunate death by Ballistic. I believe Ballistic does end up dying a decent amount this game though. But we all know Listic. He gets a power spike based off how many deaths he has. What I am curious though is his AP points. Because Gun Lash AP points are very different to Spirit Lash AP points. So I'm curious if he does end up going the tier 2 into grapple early instead of just going more of like a traditional Flog Max or like Ground Slam. And I don't even know if Flog Max is better in these types of situations, especially if you're going Gun. There's not that much more damage. But I like this. I like that Zerggy isn't being... He's being very selfish, but I like the fact that he's being selfish. He understands that he's a carry, and even though he's taking some waves away from Listic, he's being conscious about it. So like, at least you can go for like a box run or whatever. That's a great kill on the Saint. I am curious if he is going to get QSR first, or if he's just going to save up now for Headhunter. No, he just goes QSR. I usually go QSR just because you're going tier 2 Flog, and the cooldown's very similar. And because of that, you can, and the extra reload is also very helpful for Lash. And a little small thing about Lash with QSR is the fact that the QSR damage will also heal you for a portion of the damage. Because 50%, so half of the QSR damage, which would be 47 in this case, would go towards the Lash as well. So it helps a lot of trading. But I like the pressure they're putting on. I'm pretty sure if Zerggy has grapple there, he can actually get the kill. Because the pocket used all of his abilities. So, it's just getting that extra bit of distance over top of the pocket. He can pop ult, pull the pocket into his Billy for the kill. But I'm assuming he is saving up for Headhunter now. So he just gets the 2400. Good little movement to get that extra bit of height for more damage on the slam. Just makes this clear a little bit quicker. And there's the Headhunter. But I like that he does the camp before getting Headhunter. Gets the camp respawn timer going. And then... because the Headhunter doesn't really help him farm. So it's a little small thing. What on earth is happening here? He's dead, but that's just a crazy, crazy little interaction. He shoves Sharik into the ground, and the tiny little sound still hit him. Good parry. If he doesn't parry there, I'm pretty sure he actually dies. The turret hyperlined him. Hyperlined the Yamato.
Headed to green.
He came back to blue just to put some extra pressure, as well as to take the lane back, so he can solo farm.
I see
Zerggy's role on his team will almost always be the primary or secondary carry. Recharging Rush just gives him another grapple. This way he doesn't have to go something like extra charge for it. Saves him an extra 800. As well as a combo as well with things like Headhunter, which will pretty much give him a free proc. But yeah, so he didn't end up going to tier 2 on grapple. Funny enough though, there used to be a bug with grapple where multiple charges or multiple usage of grapple would give you more and more gun or weapon damage. It doesn't exist anymore, but just a little bit of history on why Gun Lash was first figured out. But another big reason as to why Gun Lash became popular was just the fact that being a little bit more of a hybrid helped him scale better into the late game. And then people discovered that his gun was actually pretty decent, so.
You don't got what it takes. Walker is under attack.
I like the discipline on not going for the slam. His slam isn't really his primary damage source, so just keeping his distance and his positioning matters a lot more. But the other beauty about Lash as a carry right now is the fact that you can play a little bit more with your team rather than some other carries. It's like Venator, Geist as well don't really have the same ability as the Lash does. So this allows for much more of a deathball comp to exist. And I like the pressure they're doing. They know Rift is spawning, so they want to keep the prio as much as they can, shorten the zip, make it harder for Abrahams to join in on these team fights. Yeah, again, so many big things is, like, so many Lashes would just look to slam into there. They're like, see, oh, there's 2 people in there, let me go for a slam. But no, Zerggy plays his position, makes sure he knows that he's a Lash, right? So he doesn't want to play in those tight quarters. So instead, plays his position, waits till they leave the area, and then they take the fight. Wrestle Locket to gives him more stamina as well. He's just going to be in a lot of these fights. That's quite a good purchase as well. And with a lot of abilities flying around, him having extra stamina is always great. And similarly to the Recharging Rush, this allows him to skip out on some things like extra stamina and delay it for something else. And he also goes Missing Burst, which is just great for Flog as well. Similar interaction as the QSR, a portion of the damage will heal him. Another great thing about Lash is that he farms very, very well. With just a little bit of height, he does extra damage on his ground slam and a really good AoE. So, clearing camps is quite an easy task for him. Great solo kill. Oh, great parry as well. Great wall from Obakim too. Or Hoot, sorry. That was just a great wall. And just great, like, Zerggy barely took any damage there. He's so annoying to deal with. Having a mobile carry is so powerful. So his next 2 items are probably like Mystic Expansion for Flog or something. And then Bolt Resist Shredder for just shredding resistances, increasing his damage output. But he gets the Mystic Expansion generally for like having increased range on Flog, so he's hitting more people. And it's also a debuff of minus 34% fire rate. So that's why he's also able to trade into these M1s quite a bit better. And I like that. This is just the knowledge that comes with being a carry player. He waits the half second not showing on the map, so he knows if he's able to push up on that wave or not. He has like this mental timer in his head, being like, hey, there's no one here. There could be a bait. It is unfortunate that he does die and he drops a bag, but just having that thought process as a carry is really, really good. The other reason he's doing that is to give the next wave time to collapse on the wave, so he can pretty much get 2 waves for the price of 1. And this way he's not overextending to like the midway point in order to clear a single wave. Right now, not too much is happening. No Rift, no Urn is up. There's nothing really to play for. They're just chilling, making it easy. Spending some time farming, doing boxes. That's what you should be doing in the downtime. Many people will be like, hey, we need to look for a pick. We should look for a pick or something. Let's play for someone else. But you don't have to make everything super, super complicated. Sometimes there is these moments to just chill out. And in these moments, you should be thinking about, like, your next buy, your next play, for example. So Zergy's probably called out that the rift is spawning on yellow, and now they can strategize about that in the next minute or so. So now they can play for a setup. And they can only do this because they have the downtime. I like his position there as well. He had a position where he had the option to look for an ult, but he chose against it, knowing that the rift is coming up. So if he fails that, then they don't have the ult for the rift. He's trying to make sure he gets guaranteed value off this ultimate, rather than the possibility of some. And I like this as well. This was good recognition from buff enjoyers. They recognized that Abrahams went to look for something mid, instead of going for this rift contest. So instead of keeping like their whole team on the rift, they sent some people over to just deal with whatever was happening there, making sure that people weren't able to get picked off or whatever. And now that there's nothing really to play for, everyone's just kind of chilling out. There is just mid boss, so people will be looking for picks and whatnot, but buff enjoyers comp doesn't really have that great of a pick potential outside of like the Billy ult and Lash ult. Like they have like the scouting capabilities of like Drifter and Calico, and a good amount of burst, but they don't really have a hard lockdown that comes with like a Billy, or not a Billy, like a Moan Krill, Paradox, Holiday, even maybe like a Doorman to some extent as well. They definitely asked if Listic wanted that buff because he is the frontliner. He has the most HP pool to play with, so the heal is best on him. The Lash also has a very good health pool, and he is the carry, so it's good to have your buffs on them as well. Big ult. Even though it's only 2, it buys a decent amount of time. And I find his positioning very, very interesting as well. Even though he is a Lash, he didn't really go in for a slam or anything. He just played back. He just used his gun, used his flog, made sure he kept his distance like an actual carry would. Because he's playing his life. He's a carry. Nice job securing the rift. They're securing the mid boss. And I like this as well. So a big thing here is so many people would just look to reset and go buy. But because they have all these picks, they're wasting no time in putting the pressure on and grabbing this blue walker. It's right now, because they still had all 3 walkers up, it was the one with the lowest HP. They decided to do it first because it's the most important walker in the game pretty much to defend. And now they're rotating to the other ones, because now they can choose to ignore and play away from this right side of the map, for example, because you don't necessarily need all the walkers to end the game, but having the blue walker just allows you to end the game much better, much cleaner. And I like how he focused the walker there, because he knew he was about to slam, so it actually saved his life, and he didn't have to use a rejuve crystal for it. And now that everyone's back up, and there's an actual risk of dying now, they just choose to reset, and he can now buy his items, and with some pretty big ones too. He probably should have bought, he didn't actually spend everything, because the walker take happened, so he got some money. But he just wanted to get to this fight as quickly as possible. And because they're so far ahead, he's okay with tanking that. And because the Geist was also super split from the rest of his team. Good for post from Sharik. but the entire team of Abrahams is dead, so it didn't really matter. This is a great read usage from Buffenders. Now they can just take the base. Because of the respawn timers and how much rejuve is left, I like this a lot. I just choose to play it a little bit safer. Back off. If they're a little bit cleaner on it, they may have been able to take a shrine, but there's no reason to play it risky. They're up 30k. You'd much rather be known as the team who took a little bit longer to end the game and make it look good than a team who tried to stomp hard and then lose the game. And this is very similar to like a style to Pauper Pupils or FPSL that I've previously covered, where they're okay with playing it things a little bit slow, less risky. Like they're not forcing themselves to end the game right away. They know that they can scale well. Like yes, Abrahams does scale like a decent amount, but it's okay. Like you have a lead, you don't want to throw it away. Just getting pointless deaths is one way of allowing them to come back into the game. I like the silencer buy. It's really good into things like Yamato, Geist, Paradox even, like the pocket. Like it's very good in general. Just getting that little bit of silence can prevent them from using key abilities to just turn a fight entirely. And because the guys previously used ult in that last fight, she didn't have it up, and now it comes up. So that was really good tracking as well on the ult. So they're probably calling like, oh, Geist no ult, Geist no ult, Geist no ult. So they just focused her hard, made sure that she died before getting the ult up. Arzo had a rough game, that's for sure. Good parry by Cosmetical. The reason why they're chasing there is because the Yamato's just going to cut the waves, making it so they can't push through yellow. So they have to kill her there. Some people might be like, oh, it's a pointless chase, but then they're going to get their waves cut off, and they're going to wonder why they can't push into the base. And I like that they take the Blue Guardians here. It's probably going to be a one and done for the Shrines, because it's a safe play. They did take a little bit of risk for going for that Shrine, because they might lose someone. But they are stronger, so they're not afraid to take things a little bit, like a little worse fight. This is a great fight in general. It's a desperation fight for sure, for Abrahams, but they need to take this fight. Otherwise, they're just gonna lose the game, like regardless. Like they're just wasting their own time pretty much. Because what's gonna happen is Buffenders are just gonna look for a pick, go to mid boss, and then end the game with the extra 3 lives. So might as well try and end the game, like try and come back by taking a bad like a fight that's a little bit more on your side. But Buffenders are just so far ahead that they can just look to end the game here. And Abrahams did give up. They did say GG on the test. Did say GG. But this lead is 50k. It's almost impossible to throw for most games. But this is well played. But this is a really good discipline from Zerggy on the Lash. His positioning was great. He played much more front to back. He didn't greed many slams in order for a little bit of extra damage to put him out of position. In general, it was very clean game. A great game from Cosmetical too. 18-0. He farmed the lobby. But Zergy's positioning was just fantastic.